Licensing Board will be called to order. Before we start the meeting, one of our members couldn't be present today. So if there's anyone that is here that would like to continue until next month's meeting, we can hear from them now. If not, we'll proceed. Hearing none, we'll, as far as the approval of the minutes, I think we'll have to wait for that till next month also. So we'll put that on our next agenda. Item number 1 is Beechmont VFW Post 6712. Is anyone here?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Adam Barnowski. I'm with the law office of Robert Allen at 300 Washington Street in Brookline. I'm here on...
Put your microphone on, please.
There's a button there.
Is it not on? All right. Better? All right. Again, for the record, my name is Adam Barnowski. I'm with the law office of Robert Allen, 300 Washington Street in Brookline. I'm here on behalf of Beechmont VFW Post 6712, Inc. With me is Joe Rogerio, who is the manager of record, is here today in case there are any extra questions. We're really here before the board on a relatively straightforward matter, really just to bring the paperwork up to date with the operations of the VFW. As you know, they've been operating for many years in this location, and they have several officers there. None of the officers have an ownership interest in the license, but they do have several officers there nonetheless. They have their changes in officers in presidential elections every year, and they had missed several years without filing with the city or with the state. So we had discussions with several individuals involved here at the city and with the ABCC, and have provided all relevant documentation for you here. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions that the commission might have.
Any questions, Commissioner? No, I think we've been reading about this for the last few months, so we're updated on it. And I just, I feel bad that we had to go through all of this for just the name changes. And, of course, they know any change in offices or manager, they're to notify the License Commission as soon as possible so that we don't have to go through months of this paperwork. And your new manager, is the manager still going to be Ruggiero?
Yes, the manager is staying the same. And we have advised them that certainly every year or if more frequent, they need to come before the commission to inform them on any changes that happen within the organization.
Okay, well, we have the papers. They all look in order, and I hope going forward they notify us in a timely fashion of any changes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone that would like to speak opposed to this? I'm sorry, anyone in the audience wanting to speak? Any proponents wanting to speak on this issue? No, we'll close that side of the hearing. Thank you. Item number 2 is Showcase Cinema and Reverse Chatters Bar. And this is an application change of manager and directors.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson, Commissioner LaCroix. My name is Attorney Lawrence Simeone, 300 Broadway, Revere, Massachusetts, representing the bar as well as NAI Entertainment Holding LLC is the actual name of the licensee. Today we just have a recommendation for a change and ask for approval for a change of manager and change of board of directors. As the commission is well aware, Chatters Bar has been in operation for many years now and successfully, and Kevin Jones was the individual who managed it and managed it quite well, management of that particular bar has worked out very well considering the concerns we had many, many years ago. I'm pleased to introduce you to David Maloney. Mr. Maloney is 13 years this very day, an employee of the Cinema and Redstone family. He started out his career in 2001. He became the manager of the Randolph Deluxe Cinema. As a matter of fact, the Randolph Deluxe Cinema was one of the original cinemas that was the deluxe concept that now is in Revere and has been for several years. He also worked as the manager for the Showcase Deluxe in Dedham, and he presents what I believe is a very credible resume for this position. As far as the other, it is several members of the existing organization have retired, and so they've identified new offices and new directors for you to accept.
Okay, how many hours will you be on the premises as manager?
I work 48 hours a week.
48 hours a week?
He's been tip certified several times.
Okay, and with the new change of officers and directors, are you planning any changes?
No, everything will stay the same.
Or not to expect anything? Still going to have the flea markets on Sundays and
Flea market actually starts in a couple of weeks, yeah.
starts in a couple of weeks?
The carnival as well starts next week.
Yes, we're aware of that.
And we continue to maintain our #1 status for the cinema complex and people going to the cinema in the company.
Yeah, it's the busiest day in the company.
And it's a very, very large company with many, many cinemas as far as the street, Moscow, South America, and so forth. So we're up there.
I think the cinema has been a plus for our city. Always well kept. Go by there all the time. It's clean. It's see you take pride in our city, and we appreciate that. So I have no other questions. My colleague have any?
So there's been no incidences in the last several years or since you've been associated with the company or the. It's been pretty.
To my knowledge at all.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, is there anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? I'll close that side of the hearing. Is there a motion on the floor?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the change of management.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's been approved. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, item number 3, Pesci Pazzo, North Shore Road. This is a transfer of license and change of hours.
Good afternoon. My name is Victor Molly, representing 543 North Shore Road, Revere. And we're applying for a change of license from the existing PMB Corporation to the new, what is it? It's Route 1A Restaurant Group, also will be known as the Marina Restaurant and Bar at the Wharf.
Well, I think everybody knows the wharf. I don't know what there is to ask. Everybody knows about the wharf, but if you just want to go ahead and tell us what's going on down there and what we can expect.
Well, we can expect some of the great stuff that we had for the last 30 years that the wharf was in business there, along with my daughter Alexandra will be carrying on with a manager's position. And I think it's just going to be, business as usual. In the past, we've never really had a problem there, other than having great food, good times, and so on.
Yeah, another great location in our city. Proud to have it in our city with the water, the marina there. It's a wonderful site, and glad to have the family running it again. But I have no other questions. No, I have no other questions. The only thing is, I understand there may be some fees, outstanding fees.
I don't believe so. I think there was something to do with a little excess on a water bill, which will be taken care of.
Okay, so you'll check that before you leave, just to
yeah.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah, as far as I knew, everything was being taken care of, and I will follow up on that
Okay.
immediately.
Any proponents wanting to speak on this issue?
I got a question.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to give
Oh,
them
sorry.
Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Commissioner?
Yes, so you are extending your hours till 2 a.m.? Is that the
Yes,
request?
we'd ask to get that also at the same time.
Are you up to speed with the specific rules that we have in place in terms of music? What time music stops, last call?
Yeah,
what's your-
usually it's the half hour before set time range and so on, but I'm sure I can get all the
Okay.
particulars down, not a problem.
So you can send them, he's gotten something, okay. So, and there's live music versus DJ, and there's a difference in,
Yes,
Okay,
we
I understand that.
we've submitted for all the licensing on that also, and to be perfectly clear, basically, we're not open until that time anyway.
yeah.
Down that road, when business is done by the end of the night, 11, 12 o'clock, we pretty much close up. We don't wait to extend the 2 o'clock time limit. But we did want to have that on our licensing, just to have for our own
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah, as long as you, there are times when you'll have people at the bars, I'm assuming there's a bar in there,
Yes,
hanging around, so there's been a couple other businesses that have kind of gotten themselves into trouble, so make sure you really understand the time closings and
oh yeah,
when you can stop the music, the DJs.
Not a problem.
So as long as so I want to make sure that's clear.
thank you.
Otherwise, I don't have any questions. Any more questions?
I think what Commissioner LaCroix is saying, at 1 o'clock, we've stopped live bands throughout the city. But you can have a DJ till 1:30
Okay,
with your last call.
yeah.
So your last call will be 1:30 if you take the 2 o'clock closing. And
We very, very rarely have live bands. I mean, if the most that was done there in the past was, for instance, the North Shore Acapella, that would do a show that would end by 11 o'clock or prior to that. So, I mean, we don't do rock bands, we don't do anything excessive in that entertainment style, so.
Right. But it's good that you know those. I mean,
Absolutely.
I remember New Year's Eve at the Wharf. It was great times, and we had live bands then.
Yeah.
But no,
Hopefully we'll get that memory again.
hopefully, hopefully. I have no other questions. Commissioner, any other questions? I'm going to make a motion to approve.
You want to second the motion?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. License has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Item number 4, St. Mary's Assumption Church. Is someone here from St. Mary's? This is an application for a special one-day license for malt and wine
Yes,
with
my name is
entertainment.
Vittorio Di Francisco. I reside at 550 Washington Ave. I'm representing St. Mary's of the Assumption Church in the Holy Name Society, which is located at 670 Washington Ave. We're requesting a one-day license for malt and wine, and we're having a parish dinner, let's see, it'll be on March the 29th, 2014, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. Is this going to be indoors or outdoors?
It's all indoors.
It is
It's in the
indoors.
hall, yes, it's in the church
Okay.
hall.
For some reason, I thought I had read somewhere outdoors, and I was going to say March
No,
wouldn't be a
no.
good time for outdoors. This is kind of the same dinner you have
Yes,
every year, I believe.
Right.
And you know the rules and regulations, and
Yes.
there's never been a problem with it.
Nope, I'll be handling the bar. Well, it's not a bar, it's just a little table with some beer and wine, and I'll be responsible for that, since I have been for the last maybe 20 years when we have these functions down at the church.
Right.
And we've never had any problems, and we don't expect to have any problems.
No,
'Cause
I
it's
don't.
it's a family parish dinner, so they, be well behaved.
Okay. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this motion, this item? Anyone opposed? Any commissioners wishing to speak?
No? It was Steve Fielding. Does he usually come up here?
Steve is
Is he lazy?
busy with the senior center, so I've been up here before too, so he kind of delegated it.
Yeah, we tease him a lot. No, it's great that you guys have this.
Yes.
So, no questions.
Okay, is there a motion?
A motion to approve the special one-day license for the St. Mary's Church.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Okay, item number 5 is D'Amelio's Off the Boat Restaurant. This is at 304-306 Revere Street, and this is for an application for an all-alcoholic restaurant license. I guess that's all on the agenda right now, is just the alcohol license.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Mr. Commissioner. This is Richard Lins for the record, 1216 Bennington Street on behalf of Off the Boat Incorporated. As you indicated, this is a petition for a new 7-day all-alcohol beverages license to be exercised at 304-306 Revere Street. I'm sure the commissioners are familiar with that location. It's been a restaurant for quite a few years. I think most recently Revasi's, and prior to that Maggio's. The proposal here is to have a full-service restaurant that will be family-owned. With me is Antonetta D'Amelio, who is the proposed manager of record. Mrs. D'Amelio has extensive background in the restaurant industry. She is presently the manager of the Off the Boat restaurant in East Boston, which maintains an alcohol beverages license. She's also managed 5 North Square. These are all family-owned restaurants owned by the D'Amelio family. The proposal here, as shown in the floor plan that's been provided to the board, would have occupants of approximately 95 people. As I mentioned, we're requesting a 1 a.m. closing hour, although the 1 a.m. closing hour would be the extent of the operations, likely to close earlier. The business model is something probably closer to midnight. Presently, the financial structure of this arrangement is that the property is being purchased from the current owner. There is a rehabilitation of the existing space and fit-out that will occur in accordance with the floor plan, and that is being financed through Ever Cooperative Bank. As part of this petition as well, and I know I've had a chance to speak with Maggie a bit about it, the bank has requested a pledge of the license. In my experience, doing a lot of licensing in Boston, I'm not so certain that the pledge has much value to the lender, but the lender has requested that as a requirement of the loan. I understand Revere is not at quota, so therefore licenses can be requested and not necessarily required to be purchased here in Revere. So we're also requesting that the pledge be approved as well, and I've provided paperwork to that extent. Mrs. D'Amelio is quite familiar with the rules and regulations of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Alcohol Beverages Control Commission. As I mentioned, she does have extensive experience, both Off the Boat Seafood that operates in East Boston, as well as 5 North Square has had impeccable records with no violations issued in the past. Mrs. D'Amelio is available to answer any questions of the board.
Okay. I would just like to, if you could just give us, for the viewing audience, exactly what's taking place there with these renovations and what we will expect. I mean, the inside, we know the bar was at one area. I think we're moving that to the back. Is that what I...
A little bit further back, not totally. It's going to be in the same area, maybe a couple of feet back. The dining room will still be in the same area also. The floor plan was showed, we're just remodeling. But
You're just remodeling, so basically it's going to stay the same.
yes. I mean, the bar, you would walk in, the bar was to the right. It was a little bit closer to the window. We're going to move it back, like I said, a couple of feet back, but not to, in that area. It's still the same.
Okay, and that small function room?
That's going to be the same as is.
It is, because I've noticed that you've boarded up the window in front of the building. Is that going to be closed, or are you putting in a new window?
It'll be a new window. It just happened to break with some work that was being done in there.
Okay. And the purchase of this building, is that also with the land across the street for parking?
Yes.
So you will still have that parking?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we'll encourage your customers to use that parking lot. I live in the area, and as many people, Revere Street, we had a wonderful restaurant there for many, many years. The Sassos had it, and it was a wonderful local place to go. And always considerate of the neighbors, which we would hope you wouldn't. Being in East Boston, I think you're in a residential area now.
Correct, yes.
And you've had no problems with that.
As mentioned, this is truly a family-run operation. The D'Amelios take great pride in the neighborhood in which they do business, and certainly expect that tradition of the Sassos to continue here, or the type of operation that I think Revere would expect for this particular location, recognizing the fact that it is in close proximity to residential properties.
And it has an upstairs. Are we doing anything with the upstairs of that building? Any remodeling going on up there?
At this time, no, simply because of obviously the building code issues that would be involved with any renovation or additional capacity that would be required. At this point, we're proposing the 95 patrons or occupancy be limited to the restaurant area only. Certainly, if there's going to be any expansion of space or additional work done, we'll come back, obviously, before the board to modify the floor plan. My guess is that would probably require some additional zoning or some type of approval, perhaps from the special permit granting authority or the zoning board.
Okay. And the other issue that, again, the previous owners were very considerate with are our deliveries, the morning deliveries. How do you work that out in your other locations?
All deliveries usually come in between 9 and 11 a.m., which...
That's great.
That's more...
Yes, that's what we would expect. And just being considerate, and I know you are on a main street, but they do have to pull down the side. You have a side door there where I think they do most of the deliveries, which is, of course, on a private street there. So that would be well appreciated. The other thing is you have 3 other locations, and you manage them. Is that what you said?
Let me see if I can clarify. 5 North Square was a family-owned business for about 25 years in the North End. That has since been sold maybe about 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Off the Boat, that presently operates in East Boston, is an 18-seat restaurant with some takeout. I think the plan is, and we don't necessarily want to announce it to the public yet, at some point to phase out Off the Boat in East Boston and to transfer the operations there. As I mentioned, 18 seats has grown well beyond its popularity. They have a loyal customer following from the greater Boston area, and we're hoping to bring that to Revere. Having 95 seats will certainly allow them to accommodate a lot of the customers they have and not have to turn people away who want to enjoy dinner at this restaurant. So the focus will be, this will be the only operation for Off the Boat, and the one in East Boston, assuming this goes smoothly, will be either phased out or sold or transferred, depending upon what the market is for that location.
Okay, well, that would be my concern, your hours of managing the business. When would you, how many hours do you think you will be putting into your new location in Revere?
40 to 50.
Where you're in managing both of them. It's going to be tough to split up between them.
Yeah, the focus will be Revere operation, as I mentioned, phasing out or changing management at the East Boston location, which doesn't necessarily require as much attention, although certainly attention is necessary. But we believe that if we're going to continue the operation in East Boston, that will require management change over there, with a focus with this location being Mrs. D'Amelios's primary responsibility.
Okay. When are you looking to open? What time frame do you have for opening the business?
Mid-June to mid-July.
Oh, that far away? Oh, okay.
Hopefully sooner.
Hopefully sooner. Well, the way I go by there every day, so I see you working, and I thought it may be opening sooner than that.
We've initiated some demolition. We hope to acquire the premises at the end of the month, and then with sort of the continued renovation and fit out, we're targeting June, but hopefully sooner.
I just happened to, I've never been to D'Amelio's, sad to say. I hear it's a great restaurant, but I had the Phantom on Saturday, and they had D'Amelio's in East Boston on. I was very surprised. Is that the same menu you will be using in the Revere location?
We'll be adding to it, but that would be the same menu.
But basically, it would be the same menu. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition of this license? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Anyone, any proponents would like to speak in favor of this license?
Hi, Elaine Marino, 282 Prospect Ave, Revere. and I guess I'm representing the Sasso family because I am one of the Sassos. We're very happy that these people are going to be taking over the restaurant. Since Maggio's closed, we've been dining at their establishment in East Boston. Very hard to get in. You have to make a reservation. It's always booked. The food is excellent, and my brother Bob Sasso has already spoken with him about some of the recipes that we've had at Maggio's, and they're already trying them in East Boston. I'm going to bring them to the Revere location. So we're very happy to have them in, and as you can see, they've already started some construction, so for my brother to allow that, he's very happy that they're coming there. Very trustworthy. And I don't think they've had any problems there. We've known them for although I've known the family for many, many years because we've had businesses in Chelsea ourselves, not restaurant business, and we've had dealings with them and never had a problem. So I'm speaking for them, and hopefully you'll approve it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very happy to hear we're bringing some of those recipes, moving them on. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this applicant? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any commissioners wishing to speak?
No. Love Italian food. Glad quality restaurants coming in, so I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
I think it'd be great to see the place up and running again. As you can say, the Sasso family for many, many years had that location, and it was just great. It was a real neighborhood place where you could go and meet friends and have a good dinner. And I'm so looking forward to someone coming in and carrying on what they did. So I wish us a lot of luck, and I just hope we can work well together. So if there are no other questions, I will accept a motion.
Make a motion to approve the application for an all-alcohol restaurant for the D'Amelio's Off the Boat restaurant.
I will second that motion, contingent on all the approvals coming from the local departments and, of course, your financing from the Everett Bank, but contingent on all of that paperwork coming back to us, I would second the motion. That would be an amendment to your motion.
Can I just ask, does that also include the pledge?
Yes, that does include the pledge. Yes. Okay, and that's a 1 o'clock license. I see you have down here. Okay, 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock, 95 seating, and at this point, we have no entertainment license or anything.
So we're simply requesting
The pledge.
the basic entertainment of TV and radio. We're not looking for any live entertainment.
Well, unfortunately, you didn't put that on your application.
I think you can request that separately, though.
Yes, you can. But it would have had to be advertised. But that's not a problem. You can come before the next meeting or when you're ready. But I think that's it. If you get all the paperwork in, this board has approved your license.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Good luck. Okay, the next is communications. I'll make a motion to place them on file.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
License renewals for 2014 common victual licenses. That's the Target Store on Furlong Drive, Nick's Deli, Washington Ave, Twist and Shake, Revere Beach Boulevard, Esposito's Bakery, 154 Squire Road, Pizza Hut, 5A Everett Street. Renewal of entertainment license, Pizza Hut on Everett Street, and secondhand dealer license, Suffolk Pond on Lee Burbank Highway. Motion to approve?
We missed these.
Oh, I'm sorry, we had more.
I think you left off at Redberry.
Okay, Pizza Hut. And then Squire Road Station, 174 Squire Road. That's a common victual license for
Is that
the station, okay. Casablanca Restaurant, Centennial Ave, and Casablanca House of Pastry on Shirley Ave. And entertainment, again, Squire Road Station on Squire Road. Okay, motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second the motion.